Man, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of not even just video games, just the entertainment industry as a whole. And it seems over the last couple of years or so, things have just gotten bad. It feels like people like me, like people who enjoy video games or movies, I feel like they're just getting... we feel like we're getting bits yapped left and right, you know? Stuff with like AI taking over, Nintendo with their stupid key cards with third-party titles on Switch 2, AI generated games. It sucks. I think the worst thing that has come out over the was with last week with Grand Theft Auto 6, when they announced that there will be no physical version of Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out in November. It's going to be a digital-only game. And this is so fucking bizarre. This is one of the most anticipated games for a lot of people. Not me, I have like no interest in Grand Theft Auto. But a majority of people, even the most casual people who play video games or are excited for Grand Theft Auto 6. And you're releasing it in a code in a box or buying it digital, you know? That is the only way. You cannot buy a physical disc on the game. And they're charging $80 for like the standard release and $100 for like extra stuff, like I think it's like side missions and shops and cosmetic stuff, and it's so greedy. Like, you're not having an excuse to give some of the money to the retailers to the manufacturing costs, you know? You're just being greedy by this point. And it's so jarring as well. Like, that's not even the worst news. As of yesterday, Sony declared that by the end of January 2028, that they will be stopping physical discs for future Sony, for future PlayStation products. And man, if that's the way things are gonna go, I'm not gonna be a part of it. I am to be sticking to the consoles I have. By that point, I will probably pick up. I will pick up like games on the Musa or like Wolverine when they come out, which is before January 2028, because they will still have physical discs. But it's so insulting. It feels like a slap in the face, and we've been doing that digital only. They've really been trying to push digital only. We've been new that they've been trying to push digital for a long while now, like over a decade or so, probably even more. With the PS5, they've been like advertising the digital only console version, and then with the PS5 Pro, you had to buy a disc peripheral to read discs. They're really trying to be pushing this digital-only format for a while now, and now, from yesterday, they decided to pull the plug and go full steam ahead with digital-only, and it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. I've been playing video games for over 30 years. I've grown up with, like, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Mega Drive, the Dreamcast, GameCube, and in terms of PlayStation, I pretty much own every PlayStation console besides the Vita. I own a PS5 back around the time it came out. And one of the reasons for that is so I can play these games. I can physically own these games, and I can play these games 20 years or 30 years from now and still play my copy of, like, Tradmada, for example. I could probably still play that 20 years time. And even with older consoles, I could play my copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee that I got back when it first came out on the GameCube in 2002. I did still play that. I did still play my copy of Skies of Arcadia on the Dreamcast if I wanted to. I did still play my copy of Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo, or my copy of Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive. You know, because I physically own them. And now with like digital only, you don't physically own, you do not own them. You have the license to play them, but in most cases, you don't physically own them, and it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. The days of sharing your games with a family member or a friend, you can't do that anymore. You won't be able to do that with your new PS6 game in the future. You won't be able to do that. You can't share digital games with friends with probably like charging you money for it. It fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. And I miss the days. I miss the days of just going to my video game shop, or just going to a shop, picking up a brand new copy, seeing the cool cover, and just going, wow, this is awesome. I will pick it up on that. I kind of miss that, and they're trying to get rid of second-hand gaming. They're trying to get rid of second-hand gaming and sharing. They want to own everything because these corporate executives are greedy and scummy as hell. They are so scummy. They do not care about video games in general. They do not care about entertainment in general. We've seen even like, I saw an article on movies, for example. There was an article on Kotaku about PlayStation deleting over 500 movies, like Terminator 2 and Total Recall, off of their digital storefronts because of license agreements. And the worst of it is that people who own those movies, who bought those movies off of their stores, they'll be taken away. They don't own them. They'll be taken away. People who actually spent money buying these games to watch their favorite movies on their PlayStation. And it's so scummy. They do not want you to own anything. And what does that mean for preservation in general? What does it mean where PS6 games or the new Microsoft console or whatnot is going to be like gone forever? And there was also a news that dropped around the same time as Sony going for a digital only format, is that there will be deleting the PS3 and the Vita stores by the end of, I believe it's like by 2027, around the summer. So basically a year's time. And it sucks that tons of games on those consoles are gonna disappear. And it's so funny. It's so funny. Growing up, people were saying piracy's bad. It's harmful to the industry, and it's like, it feels like the opposite. It feels like the opposite, where emulation, piracy is a good thing. They're the ones are keeping these games alive and preserving them in a way for people to access these games. The real villains are these corporations sitting at the bid seats, who do not care, and they just don't care about these things. And if fuck them, just fuck them. I will say, if it doesn't bother you with if you are a digital only person, more power to you. But by January 2028, I'm probably not gonna buy any more games off a PlayStation. I'm not gonna buy a PS6. I will probably get games like Omnimusa and like Wolverine when they come out, because they're still being physical. But I am not supporting Sony in general. I will not be buying a PS6. I will not be. I just won't be supporting them. My advice to people who I would just say old gamers. There are like thousands of old games that you can play on your old consoles, or do you know what? Just emulate. Just emulate. It's it's not that hard. Just be careful where you find these things, but you know, it's easier than ever. It's, you know, there are dedicated people who are preserving these games for you, and you know, just emulate, or you know, support indie creators, support small time developers who, you know, who are just trying to make ends meet. You know, yeah, I do apologize. I will be making videos soon. I have been working on new videos, and they'll be coming out very soon. But I thought I did my own 2 cents on this, and my last thing I want to say: screw you, Sony. Screw you, big corporations, just who do not care. Screw you.